we're going to do a live presentation of, I'm going to attempt to go from my bank to the NovaTech platform. We're going to go, from Revolut to Tap, and then from Tap into NovaTech. Right. So as you know, once somebody has watched a presentation, or been on a live Zoom meeting, you might have follow up with them, and then assuming at that point they're interested, they want to get on board, what do they do next? All right, well, the process that we're going to use here in the UK is we're going to work through this strategy of onboarding. And so that's what this document is going to cover. And then as soon as they've onboarded, the question, as soon as they've got their funds in their account, is what's next? And this is where the video training library is going to educate them. Okay, so let's go through it. When you get this document, the first thing to note is that, we're going to be using Bitcoin for the purposes of this example, and it's most recommended cryptocurrency to go into NovaTech with. Although, NovaTech do accept Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and USDT ERC20. Now, when your person says, I want to sign up, there's two different options that they're presented with. Do they know Bitcoin? Are they familiar with how to get and use Bitcoin? If they are, it's very simple for them. They're just going to follow through option one. Okay, they're just going to get their Bitcoin ready in their wallet, okay, to the dollar equivalent of what they want to join NovaTech with. And then they just literally need to watch video one, how to correctly register a NovaTech account. And then once they've set up their NovaTech account, how to fund their NovaTech account with Bitcoin. Once they've funded it, they will literally proceed to page 10 of this document, where we'll give them a big congratulations. You've just sent Bitcoin on your way to NovaTech via their coin payments third-party payment processor. Once it arrives, your NovaTech account will show in US dollars equivalent to the amount that you entered in Bitcoin previously. All right, and then as soon as it's in there, what next? Well, then it will take them through what happens on the coin payment screen, and so that's basically, the end outcome for both options. The second option, is for those who are brand new to crypto and Bitcoin, okay? And that's what we're going to be working through in this process, in this video here, in this presentation. This primarily covers those in the UK, but I just recently made a little add-on for those in the US. I know I have quite a few persons in the US. So for those in the US, there is a quick process. And let me show you the process very quickly, what it will be. For those of us in the UK, we're going to go from our bank to Revolut to Tap. Okay, that's pounds. From bank into Revolut. Revolut is a crypto-friendly bank account. In case you have problems, more and more banks are giving problems sending from banks to crypto exchanges. So we go via Revolut. Okay, it's not mandatory. You could try going straight to an exchange, but like I said, they can give you more of a headache if you send into an exchange, as opposed to sending to your own new personal bank account, which is just so happens to be crypto-friendly. All right, so once your funds are in Tap, we'll convert them into Bitcoin, and then obviously you'll set up a NovaTech payment page, and then send it through to their payment processor coin payments, and then it will end up in NovaTech in US dollars. All right, sounds like a mouthful, but that's what we're going to try and go through tonight. In the USA, they just I basically in this section here just included a video that shows someone how to get Bitcoin using the Cash App in America, and then they can literally just at that point go back and follow option one, and then that will take care of those. So let's jump into a quick snapshot of what we're going to do here in the UK. Okay, we're going to, in step one, we've got a 7-step process. Like I said, I want to have videos for each of these steps by Sunday. Give me till Sunday, and then I'm going to release this into the group. We're going to first decide and work out how much we want to put into NovaTech. Then if you're new to this process, you would set up the Revolut app and the Tap app. From there, in step 3, once Revolut and Tap are set up and you're verified, you would send your funds from your bank to Revolut and then on it into Tap. Once your funds are in Tap, we'll exchange the pounds into Bitcoin. That is the time when it's now time to register a new NovaTech account. Simple reason is that a NovaTech account, once you create it, will expire in 48 hours if it's not funded. So if you're still in the setup stage and you've already got an account set up, chances are it could expire. So in order to prevent that, we want to have our exchange, our funds, our Bitcoin ready in the exchange before we create a NovaTech account. Once you've created a NovaTech account, you're going to set up NovaTech's third-party coin payments payment page. Okay. And then once that's set up, you'll send the Bitcoin from Tap into the coin payments page, and that will fund your NovaTech account. So let's jump in and start with step number 1. So step number 1 is we need to decide and work out how much to put into NovaTech. Right now, there's a real important note that you need to know. I'm going to read it. In the process of joining NovaTech, we need to buy and send Bitcoin. Now, it's near impossible to work out the very exact amount because calculations based on market prices, for example, using Google, will differ from the actual prices of those assets, being Bitcoin, being sold, on the platform. That's the spread. That's what we call it, between the market price and the selling price. And we don't really know what that will be, but we want to get a guesstimate from Google, So therefore, to prevent having to send more money from your bank a second time through the process, costing you more, this guide overestimates fees, sending a bit more than is needed so that you're not going to end up short. Okay. Now, any difference will still be in your possession, and you can withdraw any surplus back to your bank if desired. All right. So, I just gave myself an example earlier. Let's delete these. Now, your document, you won't be able to edit it like this, I don't think, but it's okay. Get a pen and a paper, and you can write down this little 4-step process. Right. So what we're going to do is how much do I want to decide? How much do I want to join with? Okay. Now, there's some other considerations, and I've got an additional note here. $1,000 is a good starting point in NovaTech, to make it worthwhile. The absolute minimum recommended is nothing less than about $500. Otherwise, NovaTech's $25 monthly fee will eat quite heavily into your monthly profits, So, but of course, it's completely your decision what you decide to join with. It could be 1,000, it could be 5,000, 50,000, or whatever. However, please bear in mind we want to be responsible, and you should never invest more than you can afford to lose. All right. You should be fully aware that there are no guarantees made in NovaTech, and while they have a fantastic 3-year track record, past performance is no guarantee of future rewards. All right. So we want to be we just wanted to kind of get that in there. But whatever you decide, and in this example, look, I'm just doing a demonstration, so I'm just going to send $100 through the process. All right. So here's what you do. You put in $100 there. That's your step 1. It'll be for you. It might be, let's look at the example. It could be $1,000. It could be $10,000. Right. Step 2, minus 2.5% for the fees. Okay. Most of that's going to be Bitcoin fee, but like I said, for the spread and, so just 2.5, I've kind of tested it out and it pretty much works. So minus 2.5% off $100, that would be, £2.50. So we're going to put in our new figure, which would be £97 and 50 pence. All right. So, and then what we want to do now is work out and minus the sending fee of 0.305 Bitcoin. All right. You're thinking, what on earth is that? I'm glad you asked. All right. So what you're going to do is I'm just going to click on the document itself. You literally need to hold down the control tab and then just click on your mouse once. And it's going to open up that as a web page, takes us to the Bitcoin price in pounds. What we're going to do, we're going to put in 0.0005. And currently, it might be different on the day you do it, but currently it's $7. Whoops, £7.77. All right, so let's just minimize that. So what did I say here? Work out the fee, the 0.0005 Bitcoin, and round it up to the nearest 5 or 10 pounds. All right, so let's just call it 10 pounds. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take that off the 97.50. All right, so that would give us 87.50. All right, and if you've got any questions or comments, please don't interrupt me because I've got a lot to get through. But just write down your question. In step 1, for example, I didn't quite get this, but hopefully you're all with me so far. All right, so 87.50. We're not going to mess around with cents, in this. We'll call it 87 quid there. Right, what we're going to do now is work out the new total in step 3, which is 87 pounds in dollars, in US dollars. So what we're going to do is going to click on this tab here again, control, and then I just click on that, right? And so what's 87 pounds in US dollars? $105. Let's go with that. 105 US dollars. So that's basically what we're going to get, what we're going to start with in NovaTech. And I'm going to call figure 4, which is this, your US dollar NovaTech starting amount. Okay, and we're going to use that to enter into NovaTech in step 6. All right, so that covers step 1. And that we're going to now move on to step 2, setting up a new Revolut bank account and the Tap app. So that concludes step 1. Step 2 of 7, how to set up the Revolut app. Okay, bear in mind, this is a one-time process. Okay, so you will need your driver's license and you will need to take and send in a selfie. All right, so the blue text here just kind of gives you a quick fast track. You can obviously read the text for a little bit more information, but basically you're going to download a Revolut app from the Google or Apple store, enter your phone number, enter a 4-digit passcode that they send to your text to your phone. And then once you've done that, you'll enter your name, birth date, address, email address. Then you'll have to take and upload a photo of your driver's license or passport, take a photo of your face, which is a selfie, and you can sign up for a free Revolut account. That's sufficient to begin with. All right, here's a quick video of that there. You don't need to fund the Revolut account at this stage, okay, because there are a few different ways to fund it, and we specifically want to fund it in a specific way. All right, so if they ask you to fund now, just leave that. Okay, so that's Revolut, setting up Revolut. Setting up Tap is pretty much the same deal. Okay, again, it's a one-time process. There's a link here that you can click on and join up Tap to register a Tap account. You're going to put in your country, phone number, email, full name, date of birth. There's a referral code here. If you already have one, go ahead, and that's going to give me $2.50, something like that. But if you've already got one, go ahead and enter it there. They're going to send you a 5-digit passcode. All right. Yeah, and again, you want to write down, all your details for anything in crypto. Have a little notebook, write down your tap details, your Revolut details. You're going to need for taps verification process, driver's license, selfie, and proof of address. Like a utility bill or something like that. Okay, to do your KYC process, know your customer. That's what KYC stands for. So you'll select your region, enter your address. You'll be prompted to say what it's for. There's just a bunch of different examples. You choose savings or whatever is appropriate. Enter your photo, enter your selfie, and then you might have to also take a picture of yourself with the driver's license. Okay, once you've submitted it, it will say waiting for verification. It can take up to 24 hours. All right, but then it will notify you by email, or you could log into your tap account at any time, click the bell icon in the top right hand corner, and that will give you the status. There's a video of that right here. That concludes setting up and setting up the Revolut and the tap apps. So now that you're set up, let's proceed to send funds from your bank account to the Revolut app, and then from Revolut into tap. This is step 3 of the process. We are now going to transfer funds from your bank account to Revolut. Okay, but it's quite straightforward. We don't spend that long in Revolut. It's almost just like doing a bank-to-bank transfer. That's all you're doing, from your bank to Revolut, and then from Revolut to tap, just bank-to-bank transfers. All right, so not really anything too unfamiliar to what you're already used to. So what you would do is and by the way, feel free, if you've got I'm going to move quick, but if you've got a Revolut app and you wanted to go through this, you could by all means open up Revolut and go through it. But you would log into your Revolut account. You would hit the add button midway down the screen so that you can add money. Okay, right. You're going to be looking for somewhere, in that screen that says change. Okay, because it might come up with a default payment method like using a card, but we don't want to use a card. We want to use a bank transfer. So hit change. Okay, and then you'll be put on the how to add money screen. Okay, and at the bottom of that screen, you'll see, regular bank transfer. You'll select that, and then it's going to show you your Revolut bank account details. You're going to write those down on and have those in front of you, because we'll need those in a moment. And double check that you've written them down, okay, correctly, because otherwise you're going to have a headache if you send to the wrong account number. So make sure you write the sort code and account number they give you down correctly, and then proceed to your online bank that you use, okay? And if it's the first time, send a test deposit of about £10 to check all works fine. Once the £10 is in Revolut, which shouldn't take very long at all, go ahead and repeat the process, sending the remaining amount that you want to fund your NovaTech account with. All right, so if it's 1,000, go ahead and send the rest of that. Now, be aware that banks are, even though this is your new bank account, right? Sometimes banks, they don't want money leaving their bank account. So, you might sometimes run into an issue, as people have done in the past, sending to crypto exchanges. And even Revolut, your bank is very protective of your money in their bank. Anyone would think it was their money, but anyway. So if you run into a sending issue from your bank to Revolut, then you're going to click on this little, we've gone to the trouble to make a little bank troubleshooting guide for you on page 11. So I'll click there, and it'll take us right down to this little guide here, and literally just read through that. I'm not going to, well, actually, it's just this part here. This is the troubleshooting page here for the process. But basically, you've got some advice what to follow on there. Okay, so you can read that in your own time once you get the document. But all being well, you shouldn't have too much problems with that, and you'll have your money in Revolut. All right. So once it's in Revolut, we then want to proceed into step B, which is to transfer your funds from Revolut to Tap. Okay. We have to basically go into Tap and get our sort code and account number for Tap. So to do that, why don't we take a break from this screen? Why don't I show it to you? Put in my code there. Right, so I'm in Tap right now, and I want to retrieve my account details. All right, so how we do that is we are going to click on the blue circle that says load. Oops, here's me clicking on the computer. I'm on my phone now. So I've just hit load. Right, now we want add via bank transfer. So we're going to click on add via bank transfer. And if it's your first time, it's basically going to come up and say, do you want to generate a British pounds, Great British Pounds account? And you're going to hit yes. And then you'd literally just go back to the home page, wait for a minute or so, and then go back through the process again, hit the load button, add via bank transfer, and it'll bring you to this page, and then you'll see a page that looks like this. That little note there is just basically telling you, okay, that if you're going to send funds to Tap, it must come from a bank in your own name, okay, which Revolut would be, and that you need to send at least, you got to send more than £22, which we will be doing. All right. Then if I click OK, it's going to show my account details, the sort code and account number that you can see on the left. Okay. You want to write that down. Okay. So because we're going to take that back to Revolut and then send the funds from Revolut here. Okay. The LHV Bank is the bank that Tap use. And they are an Estonian bank, but obviously they have a branch in the UK, which is why they've issued you a sort code and account number. All right, so that concludes the process for getting your account details in Tap. Okay, and then we're going to proceed back to go to Revolut. So let me stop. Let me stop sharing this screen. We're just going to finish off what we would do now in Revolut. We would log into Revolut, we would hit transfer, and then we would click the blue new button. It says plus new in the top right-hand corner. You're going to click that. You're going to then add a bank recipient. And at this point, the page comes up and you're going to enter the Tap sort code, account number, and your full name that that you just wrote down. Okay, so you add your sort code and your account number that you wrote down for Tap. An email is optional. You don't have to put in your email if you don't want to. Then you'll click add recipient. Now, when prompted, once you've hit add recipient, you will be prompted by Revolut, and they'll say something to the effect of account name can't be checked. Or even account is invalid or something along those lines. Okay, I'm just giving you a heads up ahead of time. But as long as you are sure that you entered your correct Tap details, you can select keep what I entered. Once you've done that, you'll be taken to another screen where you will now see your name and Tap details at the top of the screen. Okay, if it's not your first time, by the way, if you're going to log in and you want to send funds like you've already sent funds in the past, you'll literally, once you log in, you'll click transfer, and then you'll actually see your name's already registered at the bottom in a circle. You'll click that, and it'll take you to the same number 6.6 here. You're going to enter the amount at that point that you wish to send to Tap, which will be the full amount. So in my case, it would have been £100 right now. Then I click continue to send. We'll have a final confirmation page, a review transfer screen. And if you're sure that everything is correct, just click yes or send. And then you'll have to enter your passcode for security. And you may or may not be given a 6-digit security code that's been texted to you by Revolut. And now your funds are on their way to tap. Okay, it can take a minute or it could take up to 60 minutes. Any problems with the transfer, you can literally contact Revolut customer support in the app. Sorry. All right, so there will be a video of this coming soon. That completes step 3. Okay, literally sending funds from your bank to Revolut, and then from Revolut to tap. And in step 4, now that your pounds are in tap, let's buy some Bitcoin. We're just going to finish off what we would do now in Revolut. We would log into Revolut, we would hit transfer, and then we would click the blue new button. It says plus new in the top right-hand corner. You're going to click that. You're going to then add a bank recipient. And at this point, the page comes up and you're going to enter the tap, sort code, account number, and your full name that that you just wrote down. Okay, so you add your sort code and your account number that you wrote down for tap. An email is optional. You don't have to put in your email if you don't want to. Then you'll click add recipient. Now, when prompted, once you've hit add recipient, you will be prompted by Revolut, and they'll say something to the effect of account name can't be checked, or even account is invalid, or something along those lines. Okay, I'm just giving you a heads up ahead of time. But as long as you are sure that you entered your correct tap details, you can select keep what I entered. Once you've done that, you'll be taken to another screen where you will now see your name and tap details at the top of the screen. Okay, if it's not your first time, by the way, if you're going to log in and you want to send funds, like you've already sent funds in the past, you'll literally, once you log in, you'll click transfer, and then you'll actually see your name's already registered at the bottom in a circle. You'll click that and it'll take you to the same number 6.6 here. You're going to enter the amount at that point that you wish to send to tap, which will be the full amount. So in my case, it would have been £100 right now. Then I click continue to send. We'll have a final confirmation page, a review transfer screen. And if you're sure that everything is correct, just click yes or send. And then you'll have to enter your passcode for security. And you may or may not be given a 6-digit security code that's been texted to you by Revolut. And now your funds are on their way to tap. Okay, it can take a minute or it could take up to 60 minutes. Any problems with the transfer, you can literally contact Revolut customer support in the app. Sorry. All right, so there will be a video of this coming soon. That completes step 3. Okay, literally sending funds from your bank to Revolut, and then from Revolut to tap. And in step 4, now that your pounds are in tap, let's buy some Bitcoin. We are now on step 4. Okay, and just to explain again what that is, we're going to exchange your pounds in Bitcoin into Bitcoin, your pounds into Bitcoin in tap. So first thing is you're going to log in. All right, so let's do that real quick. All right, and so now that we're into tap, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the trade circle in the middle, the blue trade circle. Okay, we're going to click on Bitcoin, okay, because that's what we want. And now it's going to prompt us at the bottom. Do we want to buy it or sell it? Well, we want to buy some, so we're going to click buy. We're going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen because we want to pay for it in pounds sterling. And that's what we have in our tap account now that we've transferred it from Revolut. So we click on pounds there. Right, now this is where we just have to do a little quick bit of math here. Right, we're going to want to enter, you know, for the most part, you'll always want to enter your full amount balance that you've just sent across for this purpose. So in our case, it would be £100. And it's going to prompt you and say insufficient amount because we need to deduct that fee that it's showing there. So in order for us to see the fee, we start with the full amount, and then I'm going to change that to £98. All right, so I'm going to delete the 98 and delete the 100 and put in 98. All right, and then once the confirmation trade is in the blue box, that means we can proceed. We're going to click confirm trade, put in your passcode, and it will think about it for a second. It will do some wheeling and dealing on the market. And we've just bought Bitcoin. So congratulations if that's your first time buying Bitcoin. All right. So we're going to click the X in the right corner. And that will take us back to the home page. Right. Now, you can't see this, but that concludes the A section on the notes. Okay. The B section is you need to know the max Bitcoin amount that you have available to fund your NovaTech account in US dollars. That's a very important step. All right. So this is step 4B. All right. How do we do that? It's quite straightforward. All right. Just follow along with me. All right. So what we're going to do, you're going to obviously make sure you're back at the home page here. You're going to click trade, which is the middle circle. All right. And there we go. That is our Bitcoin information. I'm going to write down both amounts for Bitcoin. So I'm writing down 98 pounds. That's what I've got there. We're okay to round that down. So we're going to, you know, just call that 98 pounds. But more importantly, we need to write down, and you want to definitely have a piece of paper when you do this, or a calculator or something. I'm just going to jot it down in real time. So 0.00. Be careful with your zeros, guys. It won't be the first or last time since I've messed up with, you know, a zero can really mess you up. 0.0062. That's what I wanted. I wanted it specifically written down like that. 0.0062 and then 8582. You're thinking, what on earth is he doing? What on earth is he doing? Must be getting tired. Well, it's late at night, and as you know, it's quite a in-depth procedure here. But the reason why I'm doing that is because there is a Bitcoin sending fee of 0.305. All right. So when I'm going to write that directly underneath the number 0.0005. Okay. So basically, I'm taking 5 away from 62. So when I do that, I end up with 0.0057. 8582. 8582. Got a video explaining this on that particular step. You're basically just subtracting the fee from the Bitcoin fee from the Bitcoin amount. All right. So I've got my new figure there, and that's what is called in step 4 your max Bitcoin value. Okay. So when you get to step 6, the requested Bitcoin amount by coin payments cannot exceed your max Bitcoin value. All right. So my max Bitcoin value, you know, is 0.00578582. Right. That concludes step 4, ladies and gentlemen. So let me stop sharing this screen. So look, we've just been through all of that. Here's your max Bitcoin value. All right. There's a little example here. This 5 here is what we would have subtracted. So it's quite nice and easy in this case. We change the 5 there. We delete that 5. So there's 0 there. That's my max Bitcoin value in this example of 1,000 if I was sending $1,000 through. All right. Right. So once you have Bitcoin in tap, which we do, it's now time to register a NovaTech account. So once you have Bitcoin in tap, which we do, it's now time to register a NovaTech account. Let me give you, I know that everybody here should be a member, but there might be somebody who's not. You never know. So what are we going to do? Okay, to register a new NovaTech account, all right, you want to make sure that you do this process on a laptop, computer, or other device other than the phone that you're on using tap. Okay, it's going to make it so much easier for you. All right, so that you're not switching between NovaTech and tap and trying to enter digits and stuff. Let's quickly run through this because we've all got NovaTech accounts here. So you just make sure you join at your sponsor's enrollment link. That's very imperative. All right, ensure that their name is at the top of the enrollment form. And then first two fields you're presented with, choose a username in that field, something simple like John123. All right, on the second field, they're asking you if you want a personal website. You know, I've honestly never really used that website, like, you know, jsmith.novatechfx.com, you know. So you could actually just use your username there. They do allow you to do that, but, you know, that technically is your username. And so, you know, if you wanted to use something else, just use something else that you'd feel comfortable sharing if you chose to, to share that website. All right. So JSmith, and that's all you'd put in there, because the rest of it will be novatechfx.com. And that would be, going forward, a website that, you know, you could share, that just gives some basic, you know, the generic corporate website, which leads to your enrollment page. Right. If your country is not listed as you're going through the NovaTech form, you can't join there. That's the bottom line, unfortunately. And in the USA, so if you're in Russia, or I'm guessing Afghanistan or Iraq, unfortunately, it's not going to work for you, you know, at this time. You know, so if you're in the USA, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to create an account in any one of these states here as well. Although there are ways around that, because you can create an LLC company and register that in Florida or Nevada. And so for information about that, check with your upline, and might be able to find that, but hopefully that doesn't apply to anybody here. All right, fill out all the other fields. Company is optional. Referrer's ID is not necessary if it's seen at the top of the form. And please, like I said to you in previous steps, always write down your username, password, email, and the 4-digit PIN that you're going to need for every transaction in NovaTech. Write down the secret question and answer, and then check the 4 terms and conditions boxes, enter the 6-digit capture code, and then complete enrollment box. Just check that. And then they'll give you actually like a kind of summary invoice of that transaction that you've created a registered account. Just click on My Back Office at that point, and then you're ready to start step 6. All right, just a couple of last other points before we move on to step 6. Strictly 1 account per person. You must be a minimum of 18 years old. And like I said earlier, once you've created that account, you've only got 48 hours to fund it. So, which is why, to prevent account deletion, ensure that your Bitcoin is ready in your tap exchange or whatever exchange you're using before registering. That's my advice. There's a video, by the way, here if you want to see that process. And that concludes step 5. In step 6, now that your NovaTech account is up and running, it's time to set up the payment page. In step 6, now that your NovaTech account is up and running, it's time to set up the payment page. Now I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go through the setting up the coin payments page to fund your NovaTech account. Okay, so let me log into NovaTech. We're in NovaTech now. Okay, so what we want to do, this is step 6 of the process. Let me just quickly so the first thing, obviously, you'd log in, and then if this is a brand new time for you creating an account, which it won't be for most of you here, you're going to click on funding right here. You're going to click on enrollment package. Okay, that's going to show you the different package levels. Okay, you know, depending on what, you know, amount you fall in the bracket of, you're going to click enroll now. Okay, so I'm going to click on, in my case, it would be, oh, we are actually doing this live, aren't we? I almost forgot. So you'd click on whatever package it is for you. If you're coming in with a silver package, click on enroll here. If you're coming in with a VIP package, $25,000, so you don't have to pay the $25 monthly subscription anymore, you know, and click on the VIP package. And you know, to the left, we've got, to the right, we've actually got the president's package of $100,000 as well. All right. And so, but I'm not going to click on any of these because I already have an account, as you know. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to go back to the back office. Okay. Now, once you click on one of those enrollment packages, it's going to take you pretty much to the same page anyway, except I'm going to bypass that enrollment page by just clicking on upgrade account. All right, so I click on upgrade account. Your page would look exactly like this, except if you was enrolling now, except it would say, you know, strictly one account per person, etc. Right, this is where we need to go back to step 1 on the notes, if you remember. Okay, and we wrote down what the US dollar NovaTech starting amount was in step 1, if you can remember that far back. If you remember, it was $105 for me. I'm not going to, you remember that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back and show you on the screen. So it was $105 that we worked it out, if you remember. Okay, so we're going to click, we're going to put that in there and hit add funds. Okay. Now, please ensure once you've done that, that you're showing your details right here. Okay. And you can see that the amount is populated at the bottom. All right. One thing we need to do is we need to select coin payments. All right. Because that's the third party processor we're going to be using. Then you can proceed to click the terms and conditions. Feel free to read them if you need to. Hit validate, upgrade account, and OK. And that takes us to the all-important coin payments payment page. All right. So now 3 bits of crucial information that is being shared here. By the way, look at this. NovaTech, 5 stars with coin payments, over 100% with 267,000 5-star reviews for you, you know, with coin payments using this platform. Of course, coin payments is not owned by NovaTech. Coin payments is a payment processor that NovaTech use, you know, to receive Bitcoin. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Right, we're going to want the QR code in a moment. I'm going to share my screen with Tap, and we're going to use that. But here's the all-important features here. The Bitcoin, what did we call it before? We want to make sure, if you remember, going back to step 4B, okay, that this amount, all right, and you know, that the amount that we wrote down, okay, cannot exceed this Bitcoin amount here, all right? So what do I mean by that? What did we write down? Let's go back and have a look. Where did I write it down? I wrote it down somewhere. Here you go. Yep. So basically, we have to have in our Tap Bitcoin account more than what's here, if that makes sense. All right. And we absolutely do. Okay. Because if you remember, we had 0.0057, and here we've got 0.0055. So guess what? We could, I'm going to show you another step, by the way, like if you wanted to change that amount to squeeze in a little bit more in your account. Now, this is, you know, to be honest, there's not much in it right there. Between that 5 and that 7, we're probably talking about, you might be able to get $2 or $3 more. Okay, that's what we're talking. So I've already got 105. In most instances, I'm going to recommend right now that you just stick with this amount and go for a $105 account in this instant. But seeing as we're just doing this video, I just want to show you, while we've got the opportunity, if I wanted to change this amount, you know, what I could just do is, I recognize that, you know, I could only literally, honestly, I wouldn't get $110. Right. I probably get, we're going to try it to be on the safe side, because I don't want to do it a third time. I don't want to exceed my max Bitcoin value. We're going to just change this ever so slightly. I would say about 100 and, you know, just for the sake of this example, let me call it $107. All right. I'm going to click the back arrow on the left at the top of the screen. All right. That's going to take me back into NovaTech on the previous page. All right. So it's going to clear the fields. Now, guess what's just happened, guys? You've just left an invoice pending. Right now, there's no danger in doing that. So don't worry in 24 hours when you get an email saying, oh, the invoice that you created has expired, because we've just left it pending. All right. So that's what will happen. You'll get an invoice 24 hours later for that one, or I will, I should say. So let's change that now to $107. Click add funds. Nearly there, guys. This was an extra freebie. This part was just because I know it's going to be helpful to somebody. All right. So thank you for your patience. All right. We need to select coin payments, remember. All right. $107. We're going to check on the terms and conditions and validate upgrade account. Okay. All right. Here's the moment of truth. Yep, I'm still under. I could have gotten away with $108. You know, don't overly play with this too much. You know, I could really go back and squeeze that extra dollar. Is it worth it? No. All right. So anyway, now that you know about that process and you understand the max Bitcoin value, you know, we've got enough to cover this transaction in our TAP account. All right. So because we've already taken into consideration the sending fee of 0.0005 or 3 zeros and 5, which will always stay the same in TAP. Now that you've got the coin payment screen in front of you on your laptop or computer or other device, it's time to pick up the phone and log back into TAP, and we're going to send that Bitcoin from TAP to fund your NovaTech account. Step 7. So here we are with step 7 of the process, how to send Bitcoin from TAP to the pending coin payments page to get your NovaTech account funded. So let's wrap this up. Right. I am going to log into my TAP account and share that with you now. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not my code, but right, here we go. So now that we're in TAP, okay, and obviously I'm seeing the screen right now. I would be looking at the coin payments page in front of me on my computer. So once you've logged into TAP, and obviously make sure you're back at the home page like we are, okay, we're going to hit the withdraw blue circle. All right, we've literally been through all 3, by the way. We loaded, we traded, now we're withdrawing. All right, so hit withdraw, and then we're going to send Bitcoin. So we click on that. Okay, we don't want it to access our contacts, and so we're going to hit not now. Okay, And then we're going to click that blue circle in the right-hand corner to add a beneficiary. Okay. This is an external transfer beneficiary because it's not an internal tap transfer. So we're going to click external. Right. So this is where we can now add the beneficiary. So, right, I've just scanned it. So let me share again now. So as you can see, I just scanned that QR code. And more importantly, it brought up the Bitcoin address associated with paying for that NovaTech account, all right, that Coin Payments issued us. All right, now, okay, so I've just scanned the, I've just scanned that. It's always important when you're using, just double check to make sure that Bitcoin address was scanned correctly. I've never seen that it's not been scanned correctly, but just double check that that matches up what you're seeing on tap with what you're seeing on your Coin Payments page. Okay. Now, what you're going to want to do before you can proceed, you have to enter a beneficiary nickname. And seeing as that we're never ever going to use this again because it's a one-off payment to Coin Payments, I would usually just put in something like temp A, or obviously I've done this a few times myself, so I'm going to call it something I'm never going to use again. Temp QRW, just anything, I'm never going to use this again. I'll delete it at some point in the future. Actually, yeah. Anyway, so hit done. Okay. And then I want to submit that. Okay. Now it's basically saying, are you sure that that Bitcoin address is correct? Because if it's not, we're not going to refund you. Yes, we are sure. So we're going to hit yes. Okay. Now that it's basically adding it into your tap beneficiaries, you're going to get a 6-digit security code. You can see it's popped up there. All you need to do is click on that and it will auto populate that for you. Okay. Now it's basically saying, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to add another Bitcoin address? No, we want to pay out to that Bitcoin address. So we're going to click pay out. Okay, great. And so it's populated that Bitcoin address. Now what we have to do is we have to put down the exact amount that Coin Payments was requesting. Right, so as you can see, what do we need to write in here? What do we need to enter in here? We need to enter in 0.00. Whoops. Oh, I'm on my phone. God, goodness me. 0.00564. It's confusing going back and forth between, we've seen it on the phone as well. Like I'm seeing tap on my laptop and on my phone, so forgive me. Right. You do have to put a mandatory reason, just part of their standard protocol, here. So I'm going to click on that and you could choose anything that's appropriate. I'm just going to put personal and hit done. Do whatever's appropriate. All right. And then we can literally hit send. Okay. It's going to bring us a new code up. Click on that. Fantastic. Job done. Your funds are now on the way from Tap to NovaTech. And let me quickly stop sharing. We are done with Tap. Obviously we've sent the funds from Tap. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. You'll still see this. You can see the countdown timer is ticking down 23 hours and 50. That's for Coin Payments. Okay. So if you create an invoice for Coin Payments, they only give you a day to actually fulfill this particular order. Of course, if you come out of it, it doesn't matter. Right. So we just basically went through all of these steps, guys. If you literally just look at the blues, it'll take you literally exactly a quick track through without having to read through everything there. Okay, so we literally have completed step 7. We've completed the whole process. Like I said, congratulations. Your funds are on the way to NovaTech. Your funds are on the way to NovaTech. Once they arrive in NovaTech, they will show up in, you'll expect to get the $107. I believe that's what we put in there. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Crucially important. Most people send their funds to NovaTech via coin payments, and then they say, now what? All right, so this document contains now what. So if you give it to one of your prospects, they're not going to be left in the lurch. All right, on the coin payments page, usually after about 10 to 15 minutes, that large QR barcode is going to turn to the word paid in green. You do not need to create a coin payments account. Under the word paid in green, you can click on, it will say return to seller's store, and that will take you back to NovaTech. They will actually show you an invoice for that transaction. Okay, there's a history of that in your account anyway, but you can click on my back office at the top, scroll 3/4 of the way down the page, and your funds will be showing in your new trading account. If they're not showing straight away, once you've done that, just wait for about 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, refresh the page, and they should be there. Okay, once in, your funds are working from that very day. All right, and there's a video here that'll explain a little bit more about that there. If your funds are not in NovaTech after about an hour, please see page 10 on the troubleshooting guide. All right, and just before I wrap this up now, you would be the newest member in NovaTech at that point. And what do you do from there? Well, step A, the most important next step is to get educated. All right, and from page 12 onwards on this document, there is a comprehensive video library that covers every aspect of NovaTech. You are now highly encouraged to learn about your new NovaTech account and back office, how to reinvest your profits, etc., by watching the short how-to videos, especially B3 to B9. What I mean, so if I click on that there, it's going to take us down here to the B section, which is the how-to videos. These are also in your in the pinned messages, as you well know. Okay, so B3 down to B9. Everybody should have watched these 2 or 3 times each. They're about 5 minutes each. You want to know, you're really going to know your account inside out if you watch these 6 videos. All right, and so I'm encouraging you, if you haven't done that, please go ahead and do so later on or over the weekend. All right, and then not only once you've educated yourself, you also want to make sure, if you're a new member, that you ask to join your sponsors NovaTech Telegram group or their uplines. Okay, once you're a part of that community of other paid members, you'll get additional assistance, be updated with any Zoom presentations like this one and any other important updates, as a quick reference guide. And more importantly as well, if we update the training video library, it will be updated in the Telegram groups. For corporate updates, please also join this web link that will take you to NovaTech's corporate updates. No communication other than just them giving you news. All right, so that completes this section. Like I said, this is now the key, is that we're empowering every member to be educated. So yes, that onboarding took a little while. We was doing it live on Zoom. Once you get familiar, it's about a 10-minute process, and then here is everything you need. The presentation videos, we currently recommend, this is the second video in the video library. If you want to share a great video, it's the second one. And then we've also got the how-to videos. We've got due diligence videos, team building videos. We've got the due diligence videos and some troubleshooting and a bit of inspiration. And that ends the onboarding training session.